Good evening. I'm Greg Sharpe. Here is tonight's sports ticker. Ronnie Ravel's Huskers softball team ran their streak to 15 straight wins last night, beating Iowa in a doubleheader. The final game was cut short because of Mother Nature. That game called after 5 innings with the Big Red leading 8-3. Huskers back on the diamond at Bowlin Stadium on Friday. They'll open up a series with Minnesota starting at 5 o'clock. Husker baseball did not reach an official game status last night. The Huskers led Creighton 1-0 after 3 when the game was halted because of lightning. The two schools are looking to finish the game at a later date. NU opens a 4-game series with BYU tomorrow night. First pitch at Hawks Field set for 6:35. In Big Ten baseball today, Rutgers continues to roll. They beat Penn 8-4. James Madison currently leading Maryland 5-2 in the third, and Western Michigan blasting Michigan State 15-4 in the 7th inning. In the majors this afternoon, the Nationals beat the Braves 3-1. Pirates over the Cubs 6-2. The Guardians knocked off the Reds 7-3. The Mets win a series in Philly, beating the Phillies today 9-6. Red Sox 9, Tigers 7, Dodgers 7-0 winners over the Twins. In that game, Clayton Kershaw exited with a no-hitter after 7 innings of play. 2 more play-in games tonight in the NBA. About ready to tip. Charlotte at Atlanta. Later tonight, San Antonio at New Orleans. For the second week in a row, Nebraska's high jumper Jenna Rogers has been named the Big Ten's Women's Field Athlete of the Week. Rogers competing at the John McDonald Invitational in Fayetteville, Arkansas over the weekend set a personal best with a leap of 6 feet 1 1/4. That happens to be the 4th best jump in school history. That's the ticker. I'm Greg Sharpe.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bouncing to the outside 40 to the 50-yard line to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
The wind, the kick, line to the deep right field, and that one is gone! Grand slam home run for Kim Ibarra! You betcha! The Huskers.
The 0-2. Drilled down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Gomez scores. Here comes Matthews to score. Chick around third. He's going to score. It's a bases clearing 3-run double for Everett.
Farrell looks in the dugout. Now looks at her wristband, and she's going to fire home. Swing and a miss, and that's a Husker winner. A Nebraska winner as Farrell strikes out Roper, and Nebraska wins it 5-4.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our Wednesday edition of Sports Nightly. So glad you've chosen to spend a little bit of your Wednesday night with us here tonight. If you want to be a part of the program, that's always an option for you with a call or a text at 402-413-2400. That happens to be our Sports Nightly hotline, which is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. Well, yesterday was certainly interesting. We hit like 91 degrees, and then today you wake up, it's 31 degrees, and both ball events out at the Haymarket Complex got halted before they were done last night.
I mean, this weather's got to be on an emotional roller coaster. It was like, okay, we're ready for summer. I went out to walk my dog yesterday and had on leggings and a pullover long sleeve, and it's hot. I got to go put some shorts on. And then now today I walked outside, I'm like, God, I got to get my winter coat back out. So, yeah, it's a little wild.
Crazy day where, we went up about 30 degrees in about 4 hours, and then we plummeted when that system came through. And, I put it in the ticker, but how about Ronnie Ravel's team? That is a great story. 15 straight wins. That is hard to do in any sport, and they're a fun story right now.
They really are, and I think it's impressive, too, that you can easily talk about their hitting numbers are impressive, and the entire lineup is hitting very well, and they lead the Big Ten in so many statistics and even are among the best in the country. but they're doing it defensively too. We have Maya Felder coming up on the show a little bit later, but they are lead the Big Ten, are one of the best in the country in double plays, fielding percentage. I mean, they do it in the field, they do it at the plate, and then they're pitching. And that, when we had Maddie Burkhardt on last week, she said, it's the sophomore sluggers and the seniors in the circle. And the seniors in the circle have been so key, that experience. And what Courtney Wallace was able to do yesterday when Iowa was having all kinds of trouble with that wind and their pitchers, but she was able to, battle through all of that. And yeah, it's amazing how it came together, especially, they took some lumps there at the beginning of the season, but they figured some stuff out. And boy, they are playing some really good softball right now.
They sure are. So big weekend series with Minnesota. There are not very many home games left, so you have some chances to get out and watch them. The Gopher series starts Friday at 5. They're a competent team. Iowa's struggling. They really are. So that what happened yesterday was kind of predictable, but the Gophers and the Huskers should be a fun series over the weekend. So
you say that, though, but then a lot of times in rivalry games,
true,
you never know what could happen.
That's true.
That could be, it could have easily been a game where Iowa comes in and gets fired up and it's Nebraska. And I don't know how big the rivalry is in softball between it, but it seems like every kind of sport, it can be a little bit heated. So for them to come out and perform the way that they did, and boy, they were smoking the ball.
They sure were. 14-1 the final in game one, and then they were up fairly big. It tightened up actually when it got called in the mid-6. It was an 8-6 game, but when you can't finish an inning, you revert back to the previous inning score, so the final score goes in the books at 8-3.
Good that they got that game in, though.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't play 5 innings, that game wouldn't have counted. But, when you move forward in the Big Ten, you never know how big that win could potentially be.
So the Huskers and Gophers over the weekend. And you talked about pitching, and that's certainly the key. That's been an issue, obviously, with baseball. We had Will Bolden the other night. That team they're losing arms left and right. Guys getting hurt. They had a dismissal on the team. And so it's so important what you do in the circle. Nebraska's doing that besides hitting the ball over the wall a lot. And Billy got another one yesterday.
I mean, she is so impressive. And just, it's hard to believe that she's just a sophomore and has handled things, because she had such a great freshman year. And so many times when that happens with freshmen, when you have a good freshman year, and even Maddie brought it up, you hear it a lot, that sophomore slump, because the scouting report is out on you. Pitchers know how to pitch to you, but she's just even bettered herself. I mean, she's even playing. She's built off of what she did as a freshman, and even with people trying not to pitch to her, pitch around her sometimes. And she's taken advantage of the time she does get those pitches, because then a lot of times with those hitters, if they're not going to pitch to you, you press a little bit. You put pressure on yourself when they do pitch to you, and then sometimes that can be a negative, adverse effect. You're trying too hard, you strike out, or you swing at balls you shouldn't. But she's balancing that and managing that so well for being just a sophomore. I did also want to make sure before we got off of softball that the Aces Place dedication on Saturday is a big deal coming up. And I know Maddie was talking about how special it is to this athletics department, and it's going to be a big day on Saturday.
Yeah, tragically, 2 former Husker student athletes who were married and had a child. The child they took to a softball game, and a day later just tragically perished. And so they're going to honor that youngster with a playground out at Bullen Stadium. That'll be fun over the weekend. They're also both baseball, softball going to honor Jackie Robinson with the Jackie Robinson weekend coming up here at the Ball Diamonds. All right, Ernest Hausman. We're going to talk to him here in a little bit. Jessica caught up with him after the spring game. Another guy, if you go back and watch the tape, and I watched it yesterday, made some plays. When you're watching a spring game and you're getting kind of locked in on certain things you don't maybe watch for somebody. But he's going to be a player for this program. I just have a feeling he's going to be a player.
Yeah, when before the game started, and I was sitting there chatting with JoJo, and his name came up with JoJo, and talking about how smart and cerebral he is as a football player, and how much he understands the game, and how important that is to being able to play that position as a true freshman, to be able to come in that he does. He's so smart and intelligent, and he works hard at it. I mean, if you missed the interview from signing day, you're going to be just as impressed with him today about how he's approached this spring. But I thought too, he's a big kid, but then you saw him in pads on the sideline, and he doesn't really look like a true freshman either. And he's going to hit the weight room hard this spring. But excited for you guys to hear that interview.
So that's coming up here in a little bit. And obviously, we didn't have the show last night. So if you have some lingering thoughts about the spring game, we would love to discuss those with you. We were having some phone issues on Monday. We've got those worked out now. So if you want to share some thoughts, and I know like Pete in West Point was trying to get on with us the other night, 402-413-2400. Our lines are open. You came across a story that kind of snuck in late this afternoon that's going to really benefit college football programs. We've always talked in the past about when spring football was over, that was really it for the assistant coaches to deal with their own position groups until the August practice sessions would open. Obviously, the strength coaches can hang around the teams. The guys can go out on their own and do 7-on-7 and those type of things. But unlike other sports, and I'm thinking about basketball, who they get all kinds of time in the summer with their players, which I think is terrific. Football's not been able to do that, but that may be changing.
Yeah, and even now they're able to do one-on-one workouts with players, and which football is not allowed to do either. But so it was about 5 o'clock today. The NCAA announced that a lot of the legislation that they were going to talk about today, they tabled a lot of it, but one of the proposals that they did approve today, that they adopted today, was due to the immediate impact to summer athletic activity. Before they meet again in May, 2 of the permissible 8 hours per week of summer athletic activity can now be used for non-contact skill instruction in football. Football is the only piece of equipment that may be used during this non-contact skill instruction, and no protective equipment may be worn, but you're going to be able to have coaches working with players with a football in hand for at least 2 hours a week.
Huge. So you can't like bring the sled out and have the offensive lineman hit the sled. You can't do stuff like that.
Or be in pads and wide receiver or defensive back going up against each other.
Right. But if Coach Fisher can be out there with the DBs, or Coach Joseph can be out there with his wide receivers, I just think, one, you kind of go, why hasn't this happened before, right? I mean, it seems like common sense, but with the NCAA, common sense doesn't usually fly in a lot of cases. This it does. I just applaud this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is a lot, especially when you're getting nothing right now. So there's 2 big lulls where coaches really aren't involved with football programs in the January, February before you kick off spring ball. And then, like you said, the lull in summer. But this is big to continue to be able to develop and grow talent. I mean, you think about, and Ernest talked about it here in a little bit, just the spring part of it is a good time to really grow that young talent and be able to work on those fundamentals. But other than that, once you get to fall, you have to start install and getting a team ready to play a football season. So I imagine that these 2 hours a week is also going to be able to tack on to that spring in developing some of that young talent and continuing to grow that skill and those fundamental type things that you can't always do in the fall football season.
Jessica, countless times I would talk to a coach in June, mid to late June, and I go, well, how's so-and-so doing? Well, I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing reports that he's doing well. Well, now they're going to be able to, was it 8 hours a week? 8 hours a week.
Well, 2 hours of the 8. So you can have 8 hours of
they can do it
athletic activity.
Correct.
2 of those can be
with a coach.
With skill.
So now they can actually get eyes on a guy and say, no, I don't like how you're doing that. Or maybe you're doing a false step here if you're Coach Raiola working with the offensive lineman. I just think that's fantastic news, and applaud the NCAA. We certainly rail on the NCAA a lot as reporters and that, but this is a well-done move, so congrats to them. I've had a handful of questions in the last 24 hours about this announcement, Jessica, that came out yesterday from Nebraska Athletics, that they have partnered with Altia Sports Partners to bolster the school's NIL program. We're 9 full months into NIL, and Nebraska certainly has been on the cutting edge of this, and they have had some athletes who have certainly profited from NIL over the first year of this new era of college sports. So people are like, well, what does this mean here? Well, we had a chance to hear from Trev Alberts today. We had a little staff gathering today where he talked about that this company is going to come in and kind of consult Nebraska and say, oh, you're doing this. Good. That's perfect. Or no, you need to be doing this. He goes, we don't know if we're doing everything exactly right. He said, obviously, we want to do it within the rules that are out there. Compliance has to be on board with this. But this seems like a pretty pretty nice move by Trev Alberts and Nebraska Athletics to get somebody in here to help them out to make sure they're doing it the right way.
Yeah, because Nebraska is going to continue to be one of the schools that's going to be a leader in NIL. I mean, you heard Casey Thompson go on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast with Will Compton talking about he's got more opportunities here than he did at Texas. And I think a lot of the athletes that come here are going to have a lot of opportunities. But how do you navigate that? How do you manage that? This is still so new, and there's restrictions on what the university can do and what the athletics department can and cannot be involved in. And so you have this company that can come in and help you navigate all of that. And I mean, you talk about you got to pay taxes on some of this stuff, and the companies have to pay taxes. And how are they filling out the right forms? And there are certain things that just, the university just cannot have their hands be a part of. And so this is an opportunity of this company that this is what they do. They know how to do it, and they can help navigate it without the restrictions of being actually the university that those compliance and NCAA restrictions.
So that's what it is. It's not a long-term deal. They haven't signed up with this company for 3 or 5 years or whatever. It's a short-term deal, but Nebraska wants to make sure that they're doing all they can to assist student athletes in this endeavor, and we're hearing it more and more across the country. Certain athletes are picking certain schools because of NIL opportunities. I think Nebraska's doing well in that, don't get me wrong, but Nebraska and Trev Alberts want to be sure they're doing it in the right way and maybe maximizing in the best way they can. I think it's really smart to do this.
Absolutely. I mean, especially like you said, when you're talking about recruiting and getting the best athletes here, it is now being a factor into decisions for some of these recruits on where they're going and where they want to play college football or whatever sport it might be. So what are we doing to help continue to further that? And Nebraska's been a leader from the start, and that was one thing that Trev mentioned too. We're going to continue to be a leader. It's just that, especially with, again, so many opportunities, and not just for the football players, but for the volleyball players and all of the athletes, really, you just don't find a lot of this type of support and NIL opportunities across the country. So, bringing in this company that is an expert at that and can really help you manage and navigate all of the ins and outs. There's so many details that you have to do it the right way, that this is going to help with that.
They're already helping a handful of Big Ten schools. I'm looking through their list of schools. Indiana's on that list. Northwestern is on that list. Penn State, Purdue, Wisconsin. So roughly half of the Big Ten is using Altus to help them out. And their lead statement says they are a leading firm that delivers consulting, strategic planning, compliance support, and education to its clients. So just kind of a helping partner through this new era. It is certainly incredible how much this is changing college athletics moving forward. And I think in a lot of ways it can be a good thing. Hopefully it doesn't turn around and become a negative to college athletics, but it certainly is a different era of that. All right, need to take a break. 402-413-2400. That's the number to dial us up with a comment or question here on a Wednesday night. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. When we come back, Ernest Hausman, the linebacker from Columbus, who's made a splash in his first couple of months on campus. Jessica talked to him. We'll have that conversation next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Kearney Equipment, Kearney, Nebraska, your big red Massey Ferguson dealer in central Nebraska.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul, not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, they're even longer term than your sister's piano recital at church that time you drank a whole big cup of soda right before you left home and insisted to your mom that you didn't have to use the bathroom. We're talking that long-term.
Hi, it's Nick Luxinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 402-740-6445 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night, a couple of days after the spring football season has come to an end for the Huskers. By the way, all of the turf is completely gone.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Doesn't it look weird out there?
Yeah, it does.
Be interesting how quickly they start to get something down in its place. Probably a couple days.
Yeah.
And the rain last night might have slowed them down a little bit.
It totally, I don't know what it looks like. It looks like an ice rink or something. If you know, it's crazy. It does not look right, but I know they got to move quickly, and we're told, again, that there's a time lapse happening, so we'll be able to see it all kind of be put back together.
The target date to have it done is mid-May because the chancellor is having graduation on that turf. So they got to have something down. It's May 14th is graduation. So that's what they have. That's why they did not waste time. They were in there Sunday ripping that stuff out after the spring game on Saturday to get the new turf installed. They got 9 years out of that. Normally those last 7, they got 2 extra years out of that field turf.
It looked pretty good too. I mean, it wasn't too beat up either. Sometimes it starts to fall apart and looks bad, but it still looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought there was still a little bit of bounce to it. You're down there more than I am during game days, but
I mean, I'm not running routes, but it seems okay.
Yeah. So it's quite a process. They they put kind of all those pellets down and then put it on top, and then they got to pin it to the ground, and so there's a long process to get it ready to roll. But before they took it up, we had the spring game, and one guy who made his Memorial Stadium debut was Ernest Hausman, an in-state linebacker for the Cornhuskers, who you had a chance to meet when he was here on his official visit in November. He came in January, and people are talking about Ernest.
Yeah, we were impressed with him when we got to hear from him as a high school senior, but he's really attacked the spring, and word's been going around that he's definitely been impressive, and so got a chance to chat with him once the spring game was in the rearview mirror, and all of spring football was done for Ernest Hausman. How did it feel to be out there for the first time?
It felt great. It's just something you dream about doing. From first day you commit to just playing out here coming in the spring. So it's something that it's just a real moment, and I just love being out there.
Did it live up to all those dreams and expectations?
Yeah, absolutely. It was just awesome. It's incredible being out there with the guys, the teammates, the coaches, and the whole staff. You work really hard to the winter, and to be out there and just play in front of the fans, it's an awesome moment.
We've been hearing all spring how competitive it's been between the offense and defense. How good did it feel for the defense to pull out the win, get that interception there late?
Oh, it felt great. We've been battling throughout this spring. Offense has been really good, and defense, we're just adjusting to with a new offense and stuff like that, and they're bringing on new issues and stuff like that, and it's just really awesome to be able to go up against them every single week, every single day.
There's lots of people saying you've been a bright spot for this defense. You've come in and ready to work. What was your approach coming in as a true freshman and wanting to make an impact early?
My approach is just trust the process. I knew that it's going to be a day-by-day thing, and if I just attack each day to the best, I knew that with these coaching staff, with these teammates I have, I just knew that if I just trust the process, attack each day the best I can, that I was going to be put in a really good spot.
Not every freshman can come in and make that kind of impact, though. What's gone into that besides just taking it day by day? I mean, the studying, what's kind of really helped you kind of set yourself apart?
I just really think that, I guess with my mentality and how I approach things, just kind of brings a different way to things. I just really, I'm really methodic in my thinking. When people think that, I'm just sitting there quiet and stuff like that, I'm really just actually deep thinking about how I put myself in situations. I really like to visualize a lot of things. If I'm by my own time, I'm visualize myself being in those moments. So then when you step out in that field, you just know that you've already been there. You know what you have to do, and you can really play your full potential. And what I really love about that is, if you make mistakes while you're doing that, you just know that next time you can fix it because you already know you've been in that moment. So I just really think it's the way I think about and approach things.
Oh, that's awesome. What a cool perspective. Being that this defense has some guys hurt, how much did you kind of come into it like, hey, let me make the most of this opportunity, because depth is going to be needed either way?
Yeah, well, with this defense and our depth, I knew that, with the tragic things that happen, new opportunities come, and then it's the next guy up. Our defense is really stressing that, injuries happen. That's the way football is, but you can have the next guy up and have no drop off. So I just knew, especially with our linebacker room, with how the unfortunate injuries and people going through, I just knew that there's going to be opportunity up there. I just knew I had to go to work and just do my thing.
Which older guys kind of taken you under his wing and really helped you out?
I think all the veterans, you had Nick Henrich, Luke Reimer, Garrett Snodgrass, and Va. Those veterans have really, I can't thank them enough. Any question I have, I go to them. And I give them everything. Even also Grant Taggy. Anyone that's been here, that's been through the system, they've been really, really helpful with me throughout this whole spring.
Was spring ball what you expected it would be?
Yeah, absolutely. It was awesome. Just the fact that spring was a very big developmental period, and it was just really awesome to be able to work with the coaches. You can get a little more extra time with them, because you're not in the season, they're not game planning. So it was really awesome to go through the whole process and just attack each day.
So how do you feel now that spring chapter, your freshman year spring ball is closed? How do you feel going into this next chapter?
I feel really good. I just really think that coming in here early was a really great decision I made just to get one spring and one winter under my belt. And so it's just really off-season starts tomorrow, and you just got to go to work and kind of just got to build. Just go through film, attack ways. It's gonna be really awesome.
What is your goals? What are your goals before you hit the field again for fall camp?
My goal is going to before fall camp is going to be hit the weight room especially hard, get my body right, because it's obviously it's a different level, when you're going to fall, you're going against other people, so it's trying to get the body right, and also get the mental game right. With this spring you have all the film from what you played in the practices, so it's really good. You can go back and watch that and see what you need to work on, and then you can really attack on the off season. So I'm really looking forward to this off season, getting ready, getting back to work tomorrow, and just really getting ready for the fall.
You seem to be really well liked in this locker room. How much do you like being a part of this locker room?
Oh, I love it. There's no better place to be here in Nebraska. When I committed here, I knew that this is the right place from the start. I knew nothing was going to change that. I just had a special spot in my heart I had for this team, and when I came in, I just knew I fit in right away, and I just been loving every moment of it.
How about that? Another impressive interview, right?
That's not a freshman.
I know. He's he's so smart about how he handles things and approaches things, and got such a great perspective. And like you said, not most freshmen have that kind of approach.
That frame, he's 6'3". They list him at 220. That's probably a little on the high side. He's probably not quite 220, but that frame will hold more weight, and he'll gain more weight as he stays here.
Yeah, I didn't get to get that interview on camera because everybody kind of cleared out, and I was kind of waiting around. But yeah, I wish I would have, so that you had a perspective. I mean, he's a big guy, and he's going to keep getting bigger. And I think he's going to have a role, I think, as a true freshman. But then, as his role grows, he's definitely going to be a fan favorite.
You just go back and look at his offer list: Arizona State, Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota. I mean, those are legit football programs that all wanted this guy from a town west of Omaha. Not easy to get to Columbus. It's not the end of the world, but it's not right on a lot of people's radar. He can play.
Well, and he played different positions, so he kind of came on late too. But I remember when I was talking to him about it, I mean, he loves Nebraska, and he grew up watching Nebraska football, but he also didn't want to just choose Nebraska because of that. He wanted to make sure that it was the right spot for him. So he did due diligence and made sure that this was where he was going to fit the best, and that it had all of his goals and what he was looking for, not just football, but academically too. Academics very, very important to him. So he, didn't just say, hey, I'm a Nebraska kid, I'm going to come to Nebraska, as special as that is. And a lot of kids do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for him, it was really important that he made the right decision and went through all of the kind of decision-making process for him to make sure this was absolutely in all phases, not just football, was going to be the right spot for him.
He benefited a lot with Luke Reimer not participating in spring, which we know what Luke can do. He's the leading tackler on the team. So this is a guy that took advantage of that.
Yeah, I think we might look back and say, even on the defensive line too, maybe there's some opportunities that have come open here this spring to develop some of that young talent that you might not have otherwise had those vets been able to go.
So there you are, Ernest Hausman, again, one of the exciting freshmen in that program, inside linebacker for Barrett Ruud's side of the football, and in-state guy that will have a lot of fans rooting him on. All right, need to step aside, get a break in. If you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. Your thoughts about Husker football, the spring game. Anything stick out to you? We've only had one show since that game, so some time for you to jump in there tonight and have some fun with us. Come on back.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
A tradition of winning doesn't happen overnight. Like any team, you gotta be tough, play smart, and work hard. No one understands this more than Ford Motor Company. They built the best team in the game with Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight, the iconic Ford Bronco, and the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Shop online at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer to buy or custom build the perfect truck or SUV for you. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
The Wine and Hitchcock deals. And Kenny swings and lifts it. Deep left field. And it is gone off the scoreboard and left for a 3-run home run. And the Huskers take the lead in the second. Nebraska softball continues its homestand at Bowlin Stadium with a Friday night matchup against perennial power Minnesota. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50, first pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The Wine and Hitchcock deals. And Kenny swings and lifts it. Deep left field. And it is gone off the scoreboard and left for a 3-run home run. And the Huskers take the lead in the second. Nebraska softball continues its homestand at Bowlin Stadium with a Friday night matchup against perennial power Minnesota. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50, first pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Find your next vehicle at Woodhouse Nissan and experience the difference. Choose your thrill in the all-new 2022 Nissan Murano, Rogue, or Sentra. Safety comes standard, so you can enjoy the ride knowing that Nissan has you covered. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase online or in person at Woodhouse Nissan in Bellevue or at Woodhouse Place. Discover a bold, new direction and drive Nissan.
Nothing goes better with Husker sports than Fairbury. Fairbury, premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. The highest quality beef, pork, and natural spices give you the best tasting hot dog and your hometown favorite Big Red hot dog. Look for Fairbury hot dogs all year long at your local grocery store. Fairbury, the official hot dog of the Huskers and Nebraska fans everywhere.
At Great Western Bank, they are committed to your community. With all the local decisions and personal attention of a hometown community bank, they also have the convenience of a bigger bank. It's the best of both, so you can bank with your neighbors and your friends. Great Western Bank wishes all area teams a safe and successful season. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. On our text line, Roger says, go Coach Ravel and the mighty Huskers. Oh, the polls. You're atop the Big Ten standings and Wallop, Michigan early in the year, but can't crack the top 25. Much like the Husker women's basketball squad earlier this season. He's got a point. They're undefeated. Most of this 15-game run has been league games, and it started with Michigan, who everybody reveres, and it's been a great program for years, and so can't get in the polls. They're close, but not in the polls.
Number 29 in the RPI right now. Michigan's 24. Ohio State's 23. So, it's the potential to continue to move up. But, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It was so frustrating in women's basketball season. How many do you got to win in a row? Because it's not. Right. It is so hard to do that in softball. You never know with all the elements, and anybody could beat anybody. And the Big Ten is, as Maddie was talking about last week, is loaded this year and got a lot of teams that are playing good softball and are in the RPI, and should be a good year for them in the postseason. So you'd think that at some point, yeah, they'd crack into that top 25.
Yeah, and again, undefeated in league play. I mean, I know they've played some of the teams in the lower part. Michigan is certainly not one of those, and they went to Ann Arbor and took both games from that squad. So, yeah, this team should be getting more love nationally than they are at the current moment. Minnesota again over the weekend, 5 o'clock at Bolden Stadium on Friday. And I'm looking, they only have one more home series after the Minnesota series. You have 6 more chances to watch this team play this weekend with the Gophers. Indiana comes that first full weekend in May. That'll be the wrap-up of the home schedule. And then they're off to the Big Ten tournament, which will be in East Lansing this year as they rotate that tournament in softball. Text line, what are the chances they make up last night's baseball game? The two sides are talking about it both the first week of May. Creighton doesn't have any midweek games. Nebraska doesn't have any midweek games, so there might be a chance to finish that game up. If they do, they would pick it up where they left off in the fourth inning of the game with Nebraska leading 1-0.
So would that be good for the resume to get that in, or not really? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not where Nebraska is right now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter at all. It's all about can they win the league tournament. That's really Nebraska's only hope of making postseason play. BYU is here tomorrow night, 1 of 4 with the Cougars, and that first game tomorrow night at 6:30. Doubleheader Friday begins at 2 o'clock Friday out at Haymarket Park.
And that's still because BYU doesn't play on Sundays, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Which the Big 12 will have to adapt to in a couple years.
Yep.
For a lot of sports.
That was one of the holdups the first time around because there are a lot of, you think about soccer, how many soccer games are played on Sunday. All of the tennis, women's basketball, a lot of sports play on Sunday. And so the first time around when they were talking realignment, that was an issue with BYU. And so, yeah, they'll have to figure that out.
It will not be easy for them to do that. Some NFL news, Derek Carr, the Raiders have really given him a big payday, $121.5 million extension for Carr, multi-year deal on Wednesday. We're inside of 3 weeks for the draft. Baker Mayfield is feeling disrespected by the Browns. I could get that after they traded for Deshaun Watson last month. He went on a podcast. It's got some kind of Nebraska roots. YNK podcast released yesterday. Baker said that He 100% feels disrespected by the franchise. They covered a bunch of topics. I get it from Baker's standpoint. I think he's been a fairly good quarterback for the Browns, and yet here they go out and get a guy that's got a lot of baggage, right? Deshaun Watson's got a lot of baggage with all these lawsuits and allegations about mistreatment of women. I'm Team Baker on this one.
Well, and the fact that he had different offensive coordinators, different head coaches. He played last year hurt. I mean, it's just been a rough go at it in Cleveland, and they cannot figure it out there. So, yeah, maybe it'd be better for him to get out of there and find a better spot.
And did you catch Cam Newton's idiotic comments the other day?
No, I didn't, actually.
Holy moly. About women, that women should just be subservient to their man and do the chores in the house and all this stuff, and oh my gosh.
Well, and he already got in trouble for that a few years back when he attacked a female reporter that was asking him questions.
Right. So
he didn't learn his lesson, apparently.
What a mess there. And I appreciate Cam Newton's talents. He's a talented player, but my goodness, that is just an awful statement. And it was, again, on some kind of just off-site podcast that he was making these comments. So some of these quarterbacks in the NFL, goodness gracious. That's why you appreciate guys. And Carr, good for him. He got a big check. He's been a good representative for the Raiders. They've not won at a high level with him, but he's certainly been pretty well respected with what he has done in his NFL career. Need to slide a break in. We'll come back and wrap up the hour. Still time if you want to be a part of it. 402-413-2400. Time to tell you to buckle up. Put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Final segment of Hour 1 next.
Huskers fans, it's time to plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Single game tickets are on sale now at huskers.com/Ireland. Start the 2022 season in the best way. Plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Buy your single game ticket today at huskers.com/Ireland.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Don't let the cold winter worry you. As Nebraska's leading supplier of propane, you can count on Sapp Brothers to keep your family warm this winter. You're like family, and your safety is the #1 priority of Sapp Brothers. When it comes to your propane needs, Sapp Brothers has you covered. Visit www.sappbros.net/petroleum to find your local Sapp Brothers propane expert. Celebrating 50 years of fueling America's heartland and welcoming guests, Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
We make car buying easy at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, Iowa, where we have a full lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. See what Chevy has to offer and explore the 2022 Equinox. This small SUV is thoughtfully designed to put you at the center of attention. Plus, versatility and comfort meet to make a bold first impression. Show your style through every mile and craft your Chevy your way. Find new roads in-store or online anytime at woodhousegm.com.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Final few minutes of Sports Nightly here on a Monday night. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. Andrew was telling me earlier today he was following Samore and Cam Taylor-Britt on their social media platforms. Samore was up, had a tour with the Packers, so he was up at Lambeau Field today getting a private workout, testing with them. Cam Taylor-Britt was out in Seattle. They even had his name up on the scoreboard and stuff. So those guys are at least getting on people's radars.
Yeah, and we've talked about how Cam Jurgens, or Jeremiah thinks Cam Jurgens will probably be the first Huskers name call, but he said he's going back and forth between Cam Jurgens, Cam Taylor-Britt because of how well Cam Taylor-Britt tested and how much interest has been in him. So he still is standing by Cam Jurgens, probably being the first, but he's saying that, Cam Taylor-Britt might not be far behind him.
I still think it's Jurgens, but I think CTB has a chance to be pretty high up there. Don't know about JoJo. JoJo just has to be kind of the right fit for a team that wants that kind of a person to do those things.
Well, and then where are you in the draft, too? It's not any team will probably, take him because he's not a fit for every team, but then what do you have and how does – it's just such a big puzzle. Right. And where does he fit at the time that you have a draft pick? But, yeah, I think the closer we get to this, the more – which – we've talked a lot about here that centers aren't going to be first-round draft picks. They're just not. Nope. But, the Cam Jurgens continues just to be so impressive by how stinking athletic he is and the things that he's doing that you don't typically see from centers. Yeah, I agree. Samori, I don't think gets drafted, but I think he could make a team. I think he absolutely can because he'll probably be a preferred undrafted free agent. Right? Is that preferred undrafted free agent? So
what do you say that PFA?
Yeah.
Is that the term?
I think that PFA.
Jeremiah's educating us both.
So I think he will be able to, and he'll take care of his business. And he put on some weight, which we talked to him about at Pro Day, and obviously can make the catches and the plays, and quarterbacks trust him. He's played with a number of different quarterbacks. He knows what it takes to go in and build that trust and quickly. So, you go in and you make those catches in some of these OTAs and training camp and all of that, and a quarterback trusts you, then, yeah, you're going to earn a spot. So,
well, we wish them all good luck. 2 weeks from tomorrow is when the draft begins, and it's a 3-day affair. Round 1 is the first night, rounds 2 and 3, night number 2, and then they finish out the draft on Saturday. Let's head to the phones. Tommy, you're up next here on Sports Nightly. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Tony.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just listening to the comments about Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is a mediocre quarterback with a mediocre arm. He was on a really, really good team, though. But there's a reason they got rid of him for Deshaun Watson. And not to mention, you all did talk about Deshaun Watson, but you didn't mention that those are all allegations against him. None of those things have been proven.
A lot of allegations. A lot of smoke there. And I think Baker's played pretty well. He's battled through injuries. They led the Browns to the playoffs. Didn't they make the AFC title game 2 years ago? I mean, I think that's a pretty good run by Baker.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. But again, it was because of the supporting cast he had. He touches the ball every time. If they had a better quarterback touching the ball every time, they would have probably made it to the Super Bowl. He's a mediocre player. He's mediocre at best.
All right. Well, I beg to differ. I think Baker would be one of the top half of the guys in the league. I don't think he's a top 5 or 10, but I think he's top half. And I'm telling you, if you want to just totally believe Deshaun Watson, have at it, because when there's that much smoke, there's usually fire.
Yeah, I'm one that I side, when there's so many victims and seeing some of the reports and they've spoken out, it's hard to not side with them in this deal and everything that they've been through in this deal.
Tommy, if there were 1 or 2 allegations, maybe, but there's over 20. So if you want to go down that road, you're down that road on your own. I'm not going with you. 1 hour in the books. We got a great second hour. We're going to hear from Marquita Armstead, who's the new senior women's administrator at Nebraska. We'll have that. We'll talk some more Husker softball in hour 2. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Searching for a new to you car, truck, or SUV? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles, all makes, all models, in stock and on the lot. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery. Order today at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime.
Good evening. I'm Greg Sharpe. Here is tonight's sports ticker. Ron Ravel's Husker softball team ran their streak to 15 straight wins last night, sweeping the Iowa Hawkeyes in a doubleheader. Game 2 got called after 5 innings because of a storm that came through Lincoln. Husker win that game 8-3. Back on the diamond Friday, hosting the Gophers. Series that starts Friday night at 5 o'clock. We're going to hear from Maya Felder coming up later on in the hour. Husker baseball did not get an official game last night. They led Creighton 1-0 after 3. That game was halted because of the storm. The two teams are looking to finish that game at a later date. The Big Red will open a 4-game series with BYU tomorrow night. First pitch at Hawks Field set for 6:35. Big Ten baseball today. Rutgers continues to play great baseball. They beat Penn 8-4. James Madison on top of Maryland 6-5 in the 7th. Western Michigan blasting Michigan State 18-7. They are in the 9th inning. Major League Baseball today. Top of the 5th, the A's lead the Rays 3-1. Blue Jays shutting out the Yankees 3-0 in the 3rd. Brewers on top of the Orioles 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Mariners won. The White Sox nothing just underway in the 1st inning. Finals from this afternoon. Washington beat Atlanta 3-1. Cincinnati drops a 7-3 decision to their in-state rivals, the Guardians from Cleveland. Pittsburgh 6, Chicago Cubs 2. The Mets over the Phillies 9-6. Boston beats Detroit 9-7. The Dodgers behind Clayton Kershaw's outstanding start blanked the Twins 7-0. Kershaw had a no-hitter through 7, but was lifted for the game. The Twins ended up with 1 hit in that contest. Arizona beats Houston 3-2 in 10. And it was the Giants a 2-1 winner over the Padres. 2 more playing games in the NBA tonight. It's the Hawks 43-35 over the Charlotte Hornets. They are late in the 2nd quarter. Later tonight it is San Antonio and New Orleans. And for the 2nd straight week, Nebraska high jumper Jenna Rogers has been named the Big Ten's Women's Field Athlete of the Week. Rogers, competing down in Arkansas over the weekend, put up a personal best with a leap of 6'1 1/4. That's the 4th best jump in school history. That's the ticker. I'm Greg Sharpe.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bounced into the outside 40 to the 50-yard line to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant, with an electrifying move to the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
The wind, the kick, line to the deep right field, and that one is gone! Grand slam home run for Kim Ibarra! You betcha! The Huskers.
The 0-2. Drilled down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Gomez scores. Here comes Matthews to score. Chick around third. He's going to score. It's a bases clearing 3-run double for Everett.
Farrell looks in the dugout. Now looks at her wristband, and she's going to fire home. Swing and a miss, and that's a Husker winner. A Nebraska winner as Farrell strikes out Roper, and Nebraska wins it 5-4.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2, Sports Nightly here on a Wednesday night. In fact, this is our last show of the week. Husker baseball tomorrow and Friday. Friday's a doubleheader that starts at 2 o'clock. It'll be a long day at the ballpark. Not going to warm up much. Like, they're talking mid-50s all weekend. It's going to be crisp out there, so have to bring jackets to the ballpark. Softball, again, gets their series going with Minnesota on Friday at Bolden Stadium. They play at 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Going to hear from Marquita Armstead, the new SWA at Nebraska. She's been on the job for about 6 weeks, something like that. 7 weeks?
February 1st, I think. Or
Okay.
no, it was mid-February.
Mid-February, I think she got here.
yeah.
So almost 2 full months she's been on the job. Going to hear from her here in a couple of minutes. Maya Felder from the Husker softball team. Also, Jessica caught up with her earlier today. We'll hear that conversation coming up in just a little bit. You want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. On our text line, Mike from Fairbury said, I really liked what I saw out of the defense in the spring game, but to me it seemed the offense was limited. Do you think that was planned? Yes. It was vanilla, vanilla, vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, that's what even Casey Thompson, when I talked to him, you know, they showed, 3 pass plays. I mean, they didn't show any of the wrinkles or anything that they've been doing, and that was absolutely by design.
Why show Northwestern something that you may break out in August in Dublin?
Yeah, for sure.
So.
But yeah, the defense, absolutely. I was impressed in a lot of different things, and because they might have some injuries, which you and I noted, I was really impressed with how in shape they are, and a lot of them because they've had to play a lot of snaps this spring, but they had to play a lot of those defensive linemen, and a lot of them play the whole game, and I was really impressed with
Was it warm down there? I mean, I know the sun was out. The air temperature was 65 or whatever. But
and we were in the shade, which I think a lot of the time the sun was beating down on the offensive side, so it wasn't as bad. But I mean, it wasn't like
scorching hot.
It wasn't like 90, but it wasn't chilly. It was perfect, actually.
Right.
Well, it was windy
because the turf does. The heat comes off of the turf if the sun's out. So I wondered, you and Jeremiah were down there patrolling that, so I wondered if you thought it was hot at all down there at all. I think Matt made the comment during the broadcast. He goes, we haven't sent anybody in motion. So usually you have tight ends or wide receivers are going in. There was no motion at all with what they ran Saturday.
Yeah, and I mean, just the way that it was touched, and some of the calls that Yant was called down on, that he's not going to be down, and it was just a chance to get those young guys out, get a feel for playing inside that stadium, get the fans together, but they were definitely not going to be showing much of that offense.
Right. Ramir, I think, Ramir Johnson after the game was asked about it, he said it was trash. The format was trash. He did not like that at all. Let's pick off a caller before we hear from our first guest of the hour. Let's go to West Point Husker Dan. Good evening, Dan.
Hey, you two. How's it going tonight?
Great, thanks.
Hey, my comment is I watched the girls play against Iowa on TV on the Big Ten, and wow, they're fun to watch. And I tell you, I'm thinking Big Ten champion. I really do.
Well, they'll have a chance.
And Greg, yeah, yep. And Greg, my question is, I kind of heard something on social media about how many home runs they have for the season. Do you guys have a stat in front of you? I thought they said 55.
I'm pulling it up right now.
That's close. That might even be low. Because you got Billy what does Billy have, 19 now?
Oh, this is 21. Whoops. Why would it go there? Okay, let me see here.
We're efforting. We'll find that, Dan, and give that out. But they are one of the top home run teams in the country.
They have 61.
61. There you go, Dan. So yeah, that was
61.
low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought maybe I was hearing that wrong, but
no, I mean, and they're leading the Big Ten in several hitting statistics, but they're among the nation's best, and so is Billy Andrews in home runs. I was going to try to pull that up right here, but yeah, they're Billy is third in the nation individually, and I'll pull up the team stat now. Let's see, yeah, they're right there around the top 10 and nationally in home runs.
Wow, that is so awesome.
Good stuff, Dan. So go ahead, real quick.
Real quick, Ronna Ravel, how long has she been there?
I got to look that up too. It's several decades. She has been, I think, goes back to the early 90s, but I'll dig that out as we get to our first guest of the hour, a gal who has not been here all that long, but has taken over for a legend in Pat Logston.
Yes, so Marquita Armstead was one of the first big hires that Trev Alberts made to his executive staff, that when he first got hired, he wanted to really make sure that he got the right person in for this job, and it was there was a committee, and then even some of the people in the athletics department got to meet with the candidates, and so she's awesome, and we got to get her in studio. It's been a whirlwind. She's been trying to tackle a lot of different stuff, but got a chance to get her in studio and had a full podcast. I talked to her for about 25 minutes, but this is a portion of that conversation right now with Marquita Armstead. How has it been? You were hired officially back in December, started in February. What's this process been like?
It's been very interesting because I feel like I'm still straddling two places. My family is still back in Tampa, Florida. They'll come after the school year, and then I'm here, and I've been back there a couple of times, and just trying to get acclimated here and with my new departments and new sports. And so it's been very fast-paced, and like I said to you off the mic, that when Pat was here, she was still helping me, and it was such a tremendous tremendous help, and I'm so thankful that she did it. But I think it kind of made me feel like I was a little bit more settled than I actually was, because as soon as she left, it's like everything started to come. But it's been exciting. I'm excited about it, and we're going to be doing a lot of things and making a lot of great changes and upholding a lot of the traditions that are already here. But it has been very fast-paced for me and going quickly. So
that's exciting. So when Trev Alberts was hired in the summer, and this position was going to be coming open with Pat retiring, this was a position that was really important to him, that they did due diligence and interviewed people and took the process how they needed to take it to make sure they got the right person in here. So from your end of things, what was the process like for you going through all of this and interviewing with Trev and kind of seeing if this was the right spot for you as well?
Well, it's very interesting because I think most people would be like, you're going to leave Florida and go to Nebraska. And when I saw the position opened and read the job description, it was really similar to a lot of the things that I was doing at South Florida. So I was the SWA there. I oversaw a lot of the same units, and I oversaw men's basketball and women's basketball there. So I thought it was very, very attractive that they had an SWA in the Big Ten overseeing a male revenue sport. And so that it was just a continuation of that. And so then as I got into the process and met with the search committee with some of the people that I actually am on executive staff with now, it was very nice to meet them and hear about their experiences here. And things were again in change, and he wants to make a lot of the changes, and just meeting with him actually solidified it for me. It was you meet him and I'm like, this is somebody I could work for, and this is somebody that I would love to enact their vision for the department. And so once he offered it to me, it was a no-brainer to me pretty much. I knew I was coming at that point if I had gotten the offer, so I was just excited to do it. It came like the week before Christmas break, which was some of the reason why it took me so long to actually physically get here, because I wanted to finish the things I was doing, and I was in a basketball season with 2 sports there, so I wanted to get them to a good place where I could leave. And so that's what it was just a lot going on, the holidays, first of the year, all of those different things that you go through, and then coming. But it's been I'm glad to be here.
What was it about Trev in those conversations that you felt like he would be a leader you would want to work for?
He was just honest and upfront. Just this. He was like, "This is how I see things. This is, he's a former player, so he loves this place. It comes out in his conversation. But he was just like, "This is what I want you to do. I'm going to give you the autonomy to make some of the changes that I want made. But I think you'll be good to come in because you've seen it done one way, and another place you bring in, and there's not a lot of." People with different expertise here. They have a lot of loyal Nebraska. They've been here. You hear that everywhere. I've been here for 10 plus years, or I was here for 15 years. I left for 3 and I came back. So people love this place. But I think that, having people with a diversity of experiences and being at different levels. I came from a group of 5 school, so that comes with some different things when you're moving up to Autonomy 5. He just really was like, I'm going to let you run these departments and do some of these things. You're going to be different from Pat. Don't try to be her. Were the things that he told me off the rip. So it's really been good to, just know that I have his support to do the things that I feel like we need to do here to get better.
So you graduated, you got your bachelor's degree and your master's in sport administration from Mississippi State. But can you take me back to that decision that you thought, okay, maybe I want to get into sports administration, maybe be an athletics director, be a leader of a department? How did that decision process come about for you?
So my dad has no daughter. he has no sons. So it's 2 daughters. So I'm the oldest of that. So I kind of got you're going to sit here and watch these sports with me. So I've always loved sports ever since I was, a young girl. And I always used to say, back in middle school, I was like, I'm going to be the first female NBA commissioner. Well, I didn't get there, but that's what I thought I wanted to do.
Not yet anyways, maybe.
I think I'm here. I think college athletics is my lane. I think I can stay. I always knew I wanted to work in sports. I just didn't know where. So then I go to Mississippi State, and I thought I was going to do sports law. And, after you get done with your bachelor's degree, still not knowing exactly what to do. I took a year off. I worked full time, and then that was not for me. It just wasn't. And so my mom was like, hey, I think you really need to kind of come in with some focus and figure out what you want to do. You always said you wanted to go to sports, and I was still living in Starkville. So she was like, I think you need to, apply to grad school there. They had the program and everything. And so literally that's what kind of gave me the kick to do it. And I got there, and I had a really good professor there. His name's Dr. David Ridpath, and he's a professor professor now at Ohio University and in the college athletics circle still as a, a commentator and different things. But he did a really good job of exposing us to it was mostly college athletics focused, not as much pro, but he exposed us to a lot of the different areas that were in athletics, and compliance he was a former compliance director himself, so he spoke a lot from that vein, and it sounded like something I can do, so that's kind of where I started and springboarded from.
So I wanted to talk to you about being in charge of the men's basketball program and how awesome of an opportunity that was for you, like you said, to be a woman overseeing a male revenue sport.
It's amazing. I had, I worked, like I said, in South Florida. I had that basketball program for about 2.5 years. And a lot of it's just relationships. I had a relationship with that coach. We had worked at a former institution when I was in the compliance role, and then I was overseeing a sport. And so, it's just one of those things where coaches are pretty much the same. They want to know that you support them. They want to know that that we're trying to do everything we can to make their programs better alongside with them. And that's my philosophy when I go as far as a sport administrator and overseeing a sport. It doesn't change because of the gender, and the students want to know that you're there. So I travel with my sports. I try to make sure I'm at all of their championships, postseason opportunities, but I also travel throughout the year so that they can see me and know that I'm there, and just an extension, not meddling, but if they ever need anything, that I'm there. And so I think that it's great, and I love basketball. Basketball was the first thing that was my first sport to love. I love it, and I'm just glad, and again, just really honored to be able to do it, because it's not, even though you would think it's the norm, it's really not the norm for a woman to be in this position. And so just want to make the best and help our program, get us turned around and back to winning.
Okay, let's talk about your other sport that you're overseeing is volleyball.
Absolutely.
And Coach Cook told a hilarious story the other day about when he first met you. He had his saddle in the shower.
He did.
That he was breaking in. What was your perspective on that?
I didn't even realize it was just a huge box. And so then he was like, Marquita, forgive the smell in my office. It's a nasty saddle. And I was like, okay. Put that down as never having had that happen before. But, Coach Cook, and everybody knows him, and everybody knows how excellent and again, he's been busy and doing some things, but we did get our opportunity to sit down, and I had only asked, I was like, hey, I'll do 30 minutes with you, and he sat with me for an hour and a half. And so again, you kind of get those things, and when you have that kind of stuff happen, and he's a busy guy, and he's trying, he's trying to win a national championship. That's what he wants to do. And I just appreciate him taking that time and being open to forging, again, another relationship. He was with Pat forever, and that she was his sport administrator. They had that relationship. They had that open communication line, and so I want to do that same thing for him. And basically, it's whatever he needs. And I know he has a way to do it, and it's worked. I'm not going to interfere with that, but I'm here, again, as that resource if there's anything that he needs.
So you didn't ask any questions about the saddle?
No, he kind of told me. He was like, hey, somebody sent that to me. And I know he had horses, so I just kind of left it, Hey, it never happened before to me. So I will, again, not never forget it.
Oh, that's awesome. How excited are you, though, in your career to work with a program like volleyball, Nebraska volleyball, and how renowned they are, and Coach Cook, one of the best, if not the best, in all of college volleyball?
I mean, it is amazing. I was watching them when I was still, I was in the mix for the job, and so you kind of start paying attention. It's like the volleyball program was popping up everywhere, but just to watch them in Columbus and how they competed, and just to the end, I mean, there's not much. That's a championship winning team, and a lot of our teams in this building want to be like them, and they should want to. But I'm just glad to be associated with a program like that. There is nothing I can really do that's going to be that impactful, I don't think, at this point. But I'm just really glad that they're excellent students. It's an excellent staff. They get along in this building, and they try to help others in the building. And so I'm just really glad, and again, grateful to be a part of their program.
So when you come into a new role like this, what's your approach? I mean, I'm sure it's got to be, okay, I've got all these things I want to do, but how do you take on one thing at a time and manage all the different things you have to do?
I'm very sensitive when you come into any place, that people have a way of doing things, and they're proud of the way that they've done things, and they don't know what they don't know, or they don't know, like, if they're doing something that, hey, there's maybe a better way. So I kind of sit back, especially when you come in at the middle of the academic year. I'm not for, just let's start from scratch. That's not the time to do that. So basically for me right now, it's assessment periods with everything, and what are we doing great? Let's keep those things. Are there some things we can improve upon? And we'll take some inventory after the school year. Summer will be a very busy time to implement some things that we want to do or make some changes. And then we'll figure those things out. But I'm not for one that's like, hey, unless it's something that's just detrimental that we have to stop, let's just see what they're doing and why, get the why. Again, build those, you got to build the relationships. You can't, I keep saying that because I'm new and new and an unknown. And they're, people are sensitive, and so you have to be respectful of that, and that's what I'm aiming to do. And then if we need to make some changes or do some things, we'll do those things. But I think there's nothing wrong with waiting and just trying to get the lay of the land, and that's what I'm trying to do right now.
If you have a young girl in college, high school, even maybe in this athletics department now or across the country that are listening that maybe want to be in your role one day, what would be your biggest words of advice?
I think the one thing they need to know is they can do it. I mean, I do this job and it's demanding, but I have a family. I'm a mother and I'm very proud of those things, and I make sure that that has its place, but that you can do these jobs. Like, I think that's the thing it might seem like. And again, I didn't have like I didn't have in 5 years I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. I just worked hard and I did the best job in the job that I have, and that's one of the things. Do the job or the responsibility that you have, and you have to do it well. You can't just do it, but it have to be done well. And if you do that, the other things will come. And I tell that to young people all the time. It's not an instantaneous. It's not just 5 years from now I'm going to do this. You just got to concentrate and work hard and do those things. And that's what I've tried to do. And it's worked out well for me, and I've been very, very blessed also.
Such a fun conversation with Marquita Armstead, and you can hear the full conversation on our podcast platforms now. But again, the new senior woman administrator will be overseeing volleyball and men's basketball, which is an awesome opportunity for a woman to have that opportunity. And if you missed it, more conversation about the saddle. And that when she went to meet Coach Cook, and he told that story about, hey, don't mind the smell, but yeah, she said that's a first. So
yeah,
but I think she's going to do big things, and just her conversations with Trev Alberts and how much she believes in his vision and what he wants to do. She knew that that was a guy that she wanted to come work for.
Very cool. Great to have her here in Lincoln. Again, the full podcast up where we put our podcasts on the Huskers Radio Network. Our Sports Highlight Hotline, it's brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse, first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Talk some Huskers softball next. Maya Felder. That's coming up on the other side.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold, organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself. That's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA-certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Successful farmers must make good decisions every day. In pivot irrigation, the choice is simple. T&L exclusive hydraulically powered pivot irrigation systems are like no other. You get tough, reliable, and cost-effective irrigation. Let T&L's 60 years of irrigation experience work for you. Call your local T&L dealer or T&L Irrigation Company today. T&L, like no other.
Discover a bold new direction and drive Nissan. The Murano, Rogue, and Sentra are equipped with features that will exceed your expectations. Safety comes standard with technology that's got your back, so you can feel confident on the road. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase online or in person at Woodhouse Nissan. Choose your experience and find your next vehicle at Woodhouse Nissan in Bellevue or at Woodhouse Place.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. Brought to you by Aurora Cooperative. Tougher together, Aurora and you. And Frontier Cooperative.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
The Wine and Hitchcock deals. And Kenny swings and lifts it deep left field, and it is gone off the scoreboard and left for a 3-run home run, and the Huskers take the lead in the second. Nebraska softball continues its homestand at Bowlin Stadium with a Friday night matchup against perennial power Minnesota. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50, first pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
A tradition of winning doesn't happen overnight. Like any team, you gotta be tough, play smart, and work hard. No one understands this more than Ford Motor Company. They built the best team in the game with Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight. The iconic Ford Bronco and the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Shop online at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer to buy or custom build the perfect truck or SUV for you. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
The Huskers provide the best on the field, and so does Kubota. The new Kubota L60 Limited Edition Series provides the best package for affordability, quality, and comfort, like the deluxe Grand L factory-installed cab or spacious open operator station. Maximize performance with Kubota's best-in-class HST Plus transmission and many other features of the L60 LE Series. Experience the Kubota difference. Visit nebraska-kubota-dealers.com or see Kubota Omaha in Omaha or Osceola Implement and Supply in Osceola.
There's nothing better than the smoky aroma of grilled beef at the ballpark. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council reminding you to pick up a package of steaks or burgers for your next tailgate party. Whether you're setting up in the parking lot or cheering from home, nutritious beef is a home run choice when cheering on the Huskers. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for delicious beef recipes, grilling tips, and tailgate inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and very excited to be joined in studio by Maya Felder, as Nebraska softball have now won 15 games in a row. How did that feel last night to put 15 wins in a row together now?
It was very special, and just there was some really special moments for our team within that game, and so just playing together, I mean, it's been really fun so far.
What has gone into the winning streak and what you guys have been able to do to put so many together?
So we work really hard. We worked on our culture a lot in the fall and this summer before I even got here. The team had worked really hard on that. And then just how we play for each other really contributes to the success we've had.
You mentioned the special moments in the wins last night. One of those, Caitlin Neal, who hit a grand slam on the birthday of her father that he had passed away last fall. What was that like for you guys as teammates to get to witness that and be a part of that?
That was so special. It was definitely an emotional moment for the entire team. I mean, I was one of the people when she was coming around the bases and just hugged her at home plate. I mean, I got chills when it happened, and I still do every time I watch the videos that are on social media, and so it was a really special moment for the entire team.
I mean, that was one of several home runs that you guys are just raking up the home runs. It's crazy. What's the approach for the plate as a team for you guys to be hitting as well as you are?
We work really hard on making quick adjustments, and so even yesterday when we played Iowa, I mean, we saw 4 or 5 different pitchers who not all of them pitched the same speed, spin, and so just our ability to make quick adjustments really contributed.
What about just having so many different hitters in a lineup that it's like even when you get to the end of the lineup, you still got bats that are just daunting to face as a pitcher?
Yeah, so, I mean, sometimes Billy obviously gets pitched around, but even then you have people stepping up throughout the entire lineup, and so that's something special. You can't pitch around everyone, and so that's something that is really special about our lineup.
Is it contagious? I mean, because you got everybody getting in on the home run action, and I mean, they're bombs that you guys are hitting out of the park.
Yes, I mean, no matter who you put in the lineup, it could be someone who hasn't even played a majority of the games in a weekend, and they come into their first at bat and hit a home run. So it's really fun to be part of this team.
Visiting with Nebraska softball's Maya Felder. Well, what about, I wanted to get into your story, and I remember I had first started here back in the summer, and we had Coach Ravel on, and we couldn't talk about you yet because it wasn't official yet, but she was so excited that you were going to be a part of this program. And then when we got to talk about you, she just talked about the tremendous impact that she knew that you were going to be able to make on this program. So going back to your perspective, and when you're looking for a place to transfer, why did you feel like Nebraska was a fit for you?
Nebraska was a fit for me not only athletically but also academically, and just the resources they have here post-graduation, the student athlete development program, and so those are some of the things that set Nebraska apart and why I wanted to be a part of this school.
So when you get here and you're coming as a part of a team that you have experience and you have done a lot already in your college career, how do you approach coming in and being a part of a team and knowing that they need you to make an impact immediately?
Right. The transition to the team is not always easy, especially being my third school. I mean, people, they don't really know what to think of you and why this is your third school, but that transition was so easy for me. Just because of my teammates and then the coaches too, and so it wasn't like I was coming into a place and like I didn't know what to expect. Like I was welcomed with open arms from the very beginning.
Did you know any of your teammates before you went through the process?
I did not. Ani is from Fresno, so we like played each other in high school, but we didn't talk, and so no, everyone was brand new.
I think that speaks volumes about this program and this team, that you didn't have any connections and you have felt so welcome immediately.
Yes, that is definitely a testament to not only my teammates but also coaches, and so I'm really grateful for that.
So beyond the hitting, which everybody likes to talk about because you guys are leading the Big Ten, some of the best in the nation, some of the statistics, but defensively as well. I mean, you guys lead the Big Ten, one of the best in the country at turning double plays, and obviously you're a big part of that. Take us through that and what's gone into that.
Yeah, our defense, we've been talking about it since the fall, is we just have a special connection within the infield and even the outfield, and so our ability to turn double plays is just how well we work together and how hard we practiced on that.
So Cam and Billy are super close and did that last year. What was that like for you to come in and be a part and be on the receiving end of what those two have done and done so well?
Yeah, I know. It's really fun playing with our infield. I mean, it's just we were able to be close off the field, and so on the field it was like no different, and it's just really fun to be around those girls. So
How big of an emphasis is that? I guess because a lot of teams, if you are a really good hitting team or a really good defensive team, maybe not everybody does both well. But how you guys can be so good in the field, but then also be so good at the plate. What goes into that balance?
Just you don't take your at-bat. So say you struggled with an at-bat in the previous inning, you don't take that onto the field. And we do a great job at just separating the two, and when you're on defense, you're on defense, and when you're hitting, you're focusing on that and making adjustments and doing what you can for the team.
And then the pitching too, the Courtney and what Olivia and what they've been able to do. How big is that for what you guys do at the plate, but then also in the field, knowing that you have those pitchers with that kind of experience?
Yes, that's huge. I mean, every time we go on the field, we know that they're going to give us a chance to win, and that's all you can ask for as an offense, and they're part of our offense. So and that's really special too, is them being able to contribute on both sides and for them to do so well on both sides of the ball.
So your first experience in the Iowa rivalry, which is Nebraska and Iowa kind of have a rivalry in all sports, but then your also first experience at severe weather. What was last night like going through all of that for
That
you?
was so different for me. I mean, first we were just on the lightning delay, so we were in the locker room, and then all of a sudden our coaches came in and they were like, we're on a tornado warning, which is like worse than a watch, I guess. So and then I went outside and we were going to the Gordon because we all had to be in there for that, and just hearing the sirens, it was different. I've never been a part of anything like that, so different for sure.
Well, now you got your first taste of it. You'll know what to expect next time around.
Yes, yeah.
With this winning streak, you guys are top of the Big Ten. How do you approach knowing that what you are doing is really special, but not thinking about, oh, we've won 15 in a row, we got to keep it going?
Yeah, no, it's definitely one game at a time. We watch video, prepare for the pitchers on each team that we're going to face, and so just taking it one game at a time and making the adjustments we need to in the moment.
So, and then going into this weekend, what's the key? What are you guys looking to do this weekend?
Staying consistent, both sides of the ball, and our plan and approach on both sides of the ball is really going to be important for us this weekend.
You guys have also had some great crowds out there. How special has that been for you to experience that and the support that continues to grow for this softball team?
Yeah, I think the last time I played in front of fans was probably 2 years ago. So it's really special. And just being in Nebraska, I mean, it's a different experience, and I'm loving every bit of it so far.
Well, Maya, we appreciate your time. You're killing it, leading the team and hitting percentage and all of that. And I know you've been a big part of this team, and they've been excited to have you, and it's been fun watching you.
Yes, thank you.
We'll look forward to much more to come from Maya Felder. All right, we're going to step aside here on Sports Nightly, take a quick break, but buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with more on Sports Nightly right after this.
The Wine and Hitchcock deals. And Kenny swings and lifts it deep left field, and it is gone off the scoreboard and left for a 3-run home run, and the Huskers take the lead in the second. Nebraska softball continues its homestand at Bowlin Stadium with a Friday night matchup against perennial power Minnesota. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50, first pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
The Wine and Hitchcock deals. And Kenny swings and lifts it deep left field, and it is gone off the scoreboard and left for a 3-run home run, and and the Huskers take the lead in the second. Nebraska softball continues its homestand at Bowlin Stadium with a Friday night matchup against perennial power Minnesota. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50, first pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline, and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
The Wine and Hitchcock deals. And Kenny swings and lifts it deep left field, and it is gone off the scoreboard and left for a 3-run home run, and the Huskers take the lead in the second. Nebraska softball continues its homestand at Bowlin Stadium with a Friday night matchup against perennial power Minnesota. Pre-game coverage begins at 4:50, first pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night of Sports Nightly. Great to hear from Maya Felder. She has been a terrific addition to that roster and another part of the cog that's let this team win 15 in a row.
And I think, you heard her talk about just the program and the culture and how accepted she was, because she didn't know. A lot of times transfers come in and know people, like Jazz Shelley, for example, obviously knew Izzy and Ruby, but she didn't know many people and was felt immediately at home. But it also speaks volumes about her that she's been able to come in and fit right in and has been, she leads a team in hitting percentage and batting average, and has just been a huge asset for this team. And I know when we talked to Rhonda Revelle in the summer, she's really, really excited about what Maya could bring. And she's got 2 years, this year and next year, of eligibility, so that's big.
Again, the Huskers home this weekend for 3 games, and they have 3 more after that with Indiana the first week of May, so only 6 more opportunities to watch that team that have won 15 in a row. Interesting thing in Major League Baseball today, the Dodgers were playing up in Minneapolis. Oh, boy, 38-degree day at Target Field. Clayton Kershaw, who's been maybe the best left-hander and pitcher in baseball for the last 15 years or so. He's on the back end of his career now, but he was dominant today. He had a perfect game, not just a no-hitter, but a perfect game. So no base runners through 7 innings. The Dodgers lifted him from the game. Kershaw afterwards said he was part of the decision to do this. He said, trying to stay in there, that would have been a selfish thing. We're trying to win. That's all we're really here for. He said, I would have loved to stay in, but there are bigger things ahead, bigger things. He said we had set a pitch limit of 80 pitches, and that's what he hit after he got through the 7th inning, so he was out. Perfect games are really rare in baseball, and a lot of people would have just said, keep him going until he gives up a hit or a walk and get him out. But I understand it.
That was the vast majority of the opinions that I saw on social media, but I mean, this is a dude's livelihood with his arm, and he even said in his presser after the game about, blame it on the lockout that he hasn't had enough outings yet, blame it on the fact that he hasn't pitched much, but he thought it was the right decision. And I mean, he's getting up there. I mean, he's played a lot of baseball, and you got to protect that arm. And, I have no problem with it.
Cold day, too. You got to factor the weather in there, too.
Who knows? I understand you want to see history, but also if something would have gone wrong because he pushed his arm too much, I mean, who would want to live with that decision?
13 strikeouts in the 21 batters that he faced. That is domination. He said he and Dave Roberts, who's the manager, talked after the 6th inning, and Kershaw said, I'll go one more inning. I'll go one more, and then I want out of the game. So they preset that. People were booing, even though it was a home game for the Twins. People were booing when he didn't come out to pitch the 8th inning up in Minneapolis today. Dodgers went on to win that game, final of 7-0. 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up tonight's show next.
A tradition of winning doesn't happen overnight. Like any team, you got to be tough, play smart, and work hard. No one understands this more than Ford Motor Company. They built the best team in the game with Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight, the iconic Ford Bronco, and the most powerful Ford Explorer ever. Shop online at buyfordnow.com or visit your local Ford dealer to buy or custom build the perfect truck or SUV for you. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Huskers fans, it's time to plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Single game tickets are on sale now at huskers.com/Ireland. Start the 2022 season in the best way. Plan your dream trip to Ireland and see your team face the Northwestern Wildcats at Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Buy your single game ticket today at huskers.com/Ireland.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Brent Custer in Broken Bow and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track,
on the field, or in the fields. Winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final few minutes of our program here tonight. Great debate between the commercial break there about the NBA play-in games. We're all trying to figure this thing out. This is
I
new.
like it, and that's a lot of people that don't like to watch the regular season NBA like watching the NBA playoffs, so this gives us more playoff action, and it's a battle to get in. But yeah, I'm confused at how I'm trying to figure that out, but I do like that you have to compete to get in, and they're allowing some teams an opportunity to battle it out.
Basically, the winners from last night are in. They move on into the next round. The losers from last night aren't out. They now await the winner of tonight. So tonight's losers will be done. And so right now you've got the Hornets are on the downside of the decision with the Hawks. So the Hornet season would be over later tonight. New Orleans and San Antonio will play. The loser of that would be out. The winner then gets the late game tonight gets the Clippers tomorrow, and the Cavs will play the winner of this Hawks-Hornets game, which looks like it will be the Hawks. I know you were very happy for Pat Beverly as he and the Timberwolves won in advance last night.
I was not. Doesn't matter which team Pat Beverly is playing for. I'm not a fan of that team. He just moves around, and every team that he plays for, I don't like that team. So I won't be a Timberwolves fan this year.
Yeah, the Timberwolves have had a rough stretch, so I'm happy for their fan base that they're at least making some noise in the playoff. They had a shot last night. A bunch of Vikings players rented a suite up at the Target Center in Minneapolis, and where they're rooting on the Timberwolves, or I don't know how much they were rooting. They were there supporting them. They were there visiting them there. Speaking of quarterbacks moving around earlier in the hour, Russell Wilson now a Denver Bronco. He threw out the first pitch at the Rockies home opener the other day. Fans were pretty excited. Russell Wilson going to be a Denver Bronco.
There's a lot of Denver fans around here, right?
There are.
Denver, the Broncos, the Chiefs.
Particularly western Nebraska, because they're so close to Denver. So they are all Orange Crush
It's going to be fascinating because they had a lot of good young, skill guys and wide receivers. And I've seen some conversations being had about some of those wide receivers, how excited they are to play with Russell Wilson. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly that'll maybe change things for Denver.
That division is going to be tough. The Chargers are good. Obviously, the Chiefs are good. Raiders re-signed Carr today. They've got a lot of young talent as well. That's going to be, I think, will be the best division in the NFL next year with that AFC West. So that'll be fun. All right, this will be our last show of the week, but a lot of ball bat sports. Husker baseball back in action tomorrow with BYU coming to town for a 4-game series that will end on Saturday, and softball will get the Minnesota Golden Gophers for a 3-game series starting on Friday out at Bowlin Stadium. So go see that softball team. They are fun to watch, and they bash the ball. Wow, they hit it.
They do, and they play great defense, and they've got great pitching going on right now. I mean, it is a great, well-balanced team, and also wanted to make sure we mentioned again, we talked to Maya about it, but the special moment with Caitlin Neal, who blasted the Grand Slam on the anniversary of her father's birthday, and he passed away in the fall, and they posted the video of it and Coach Ravel's interview, and it has gone viral with all of the softball community. I've seen a lot of different softball players from all across the country talking about how they're in tears and how special it is, and it just means more. So this Nebraska team is winning over a lot of hearts across the nation.
That's really cool. One programming note, we're excited about this. The head football coach will be here next Tuesday night, hour number 1, for an entire hour. Scott Frost will be here. We'll recap spring. We'll talk about what the next couple of months are going to look like. We'll get into all kinds of topics with him, so put that into your notebook and your calendar for appointment listening. The head coach here on Tuesday night, hour number 1, to talk and wrap up spring ball. We haven't had him in here. I think we had
December.
December. We had him right after the signing day,
Yep.
right? So
Yeah.
it's been a long time since we've had him come in and talk. A lot of things to talk about. I mean, there's a bevy of topics to dive in with him. Great stuff tonight. Thanks to Jessica, to Molly, to Andrew, to all of you for being a part of this program tonight. Talk to you tomorrow night from the ballpark. Huskers take on the Cougars at BYU. Have a great night tonight. Andrew says, go Hornets. I'm not on that train. I'm out on that deal. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Discover the all-new 2022 GMC Terrain. With 3 distinct trim lines to choose from, there's a Terrain for any driver. Plus, safety and capability come standard in the Terrain lineup, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Shop our indoor showroom or purchase online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
As the Huskers head to the 7th inning stretch, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. Call or visit soshvac.com today.
SOS to the rescue.